Welcome back to the Watchtower, guys. Today we're going to be looking at one from Man Guide on why women are getting pissed off at the passport bros. Let's jump into it.
What do you think about passport bros? What's your opinion about that concept?
Well, I think that, like they go there because they can't really handle us here, because we have a lot of, I feel like they can't take the feminine.
I mean, that's not really a lie. Like, people don't want to deal with shitty attitudes, right? They don't want to deal with this sort of masculine behavior. So she's not wrong.
And the fact that we actually speak up for ourselves. And, the fact that we're independent and we do our own, and they don't like it. Some people don't like, some men actually do like it, but these men, I don't know why, they're so against it. They don't like to see us shine. I just don't know why.
No, I think that's complete cap. It's not that we don't like to see people shine, but it's a teamwork, right? You got to have teamwork. We got to teamwork together. It's not about one person outshining the other, but for some reason, it's always has to be such a competition to see, who's making more money, who's ahead of the other person. It's not about that. It's about teamwork. And I think that women in the West just don't really understand that these days.
You heard the thing about the passport thing? The guys that travel because, let's say a guy from Canada that wants a traditional woman, a more traditional relationship.
Qui mange mon
They probably would like that.
sont méchants.
So you don't like that?
Non.
Why does she even care?
Okay.
At a school assembly in Broward College in Australia, all male students were told to stand up and apologize on behalf of their gender for collective ills such as sexual assault. And although the justification was in response to growing concern about treatment of girls at the school, girls were left feeling exposed and upset, while boys were made to feel guilty for being men. And as male student Vinny stated, we had to apologize for stuff that we didn't actually do.
One boy came home and he said, "Mum, I'm not a rapist. Why have I been forced to apologize for this?"
And in an era where we're encouraged.
Bro, that is so messed up. Oh my god. Australia's whack, bro. They do some whack shit down there. I don't know if you guys remember, but during the whole worldwide, thing that happened, C-19 thing, Australia had some crazy lockdown rules. I don't know what's going on down there, but they do some whack stuff. Can you imagine sending your kid to school and them being told that they need to apologize to the females within the school for being potential future, that's crazy, dude. They're putting it in their mind. They're literally putting it in their mind at a young age. That's literally messed up.
Encouraging boys and men to be more open, it becomes challenging for them to actually do so when they're still receiving messages that their feelings and perspectives aren't really that valued. And if expressing even slight sensitivity about the male experience is viewed as invalidating the female experience, how can we ever expect to establish healthy communication?
Money, he's 7'1". Does that be 6 foot?
Yeah, at least.
Let's say he's 5'9", but if he's standing on his money, he's 7'1". Does that change anything?
If he has money, I would say yeah.
Okay.
But it has to be a lot of money.
How much money we talking?
Maybe like billion.
Oh, $1 billion?
Oh my god.
Jeff Bezos? God damn. Your roster deep like that? God, got a lot of dudes.
Bro, these people don't even comprehend what a billion is. The idea of what you have to be to become a billionaire, it's bro, there's just the idea that think that you're supposed to be with a billionaire or you're worthy of being a billionaire. Just that you'd even the fact of the matter is none of us even come across billionaires in day-to-day life. They're so rare. And then to think that you're going to meet one and that you're going to be chosen is just crazy. Even a millionaire.
Dudes in your roster? Yeah.
The Dead Sea is a lake with the highest salinity concentration on the planet, and it's still less salty than some of these women. The thing they hate is that passport bros are on the rise. A passport bro is a man who has chosen to seek out relationships with foreign women, often from countries outside their own. The passport...
Now, I don't 100% agree with that because a lot of guys will just travel and go to these other countries and the women are just a byproduct, whereas they're going to actually look for financial reasons or possible just future place that they would want to live for weather reasons. For me, an example, I went to Thailand and I went over there just to check it out. Again, it wasn't just for the women. I'm in a relationship, but I went over there just to see what the culture was like. I wanted to see what the sort of situation over there in terms of money and would that be a potential good spot to be running my business. And the weather there is fantastic, as well as just the people and the culture in general is great. So I don't think that this whole thing of trying to label men who go overseas and try to check out other countries as just going for women is a good idea, because that's not the truth at all. I don't see that as being the truth. I mean, if you use the term passport bro, I guess maybe that's kind of what you're a part of and that turns that culture. But any guy who's just traveling overseas to go check it out doesn't mean that the main reason they're going there is just for women. That's ridiculous.
Passport bros believe that by venturing beyond their borders, they can find more authentic and fulfilling relationships, free from toxic Western culture. This trend began back in 2011 when a filmmaker by the name of Al Grease made a documentary called Frustrated. It was about men who were frustrated with the dating scene in America and flew to Brazil to find more feminine women. Fast forward to
that is a big reason.
2023, and this trend has completely blown up. Women said they didn't want men. Now, they're leaving, and Western women are having a meltdown about it. And you should see the kinds of things they're saying. They're using the same kind of stereotyping, generalizing, and racism that woke culture and feminism are supposed to be against.
I mean,
It's
that's not
full
surprising.
of hypocrisy, and they can't even see it.
When you pay attention to the passport bros, like they're getting women from like the Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education.
Okay, actually, that's complete cap, bro. That is complete cap. I was in Thailand. I've been to Thailand. The majority of people I saw there, unless you're out in the rural areas, any of the places you're in, they actually speak really good English. See, that's the thing is there's the ignorance about these other countries. Most other places know how to speak their language and another language, at least two languages. Over here in the US, in the States, we can only really speak English because we have the dominant world culture, right? But in a lot of these other countries, they know multiple languages. They also know it because their countries are a lot smaller than ours, and so their borders are up against so many other countries that there's a lot of different cultures kind of intermixing and interacting, and so you have to kind of learn multiple languages. When I was in Thailand, a lot of these women knew, any of the women I talked to, any of the men I talked to, they completely understood what I was saying, and any of the ones I ran into that didn't really understand it, it was easy enough to do Google Translate or whatever, just translate it on your the Google Translate app or whatever. So this is completely false. And the thing is a lot of people give their opinions and stuff, but they've never actually traveled overseas and actually checked out the situation. So maybe this lady's in that bucket where she's just throwing out shit that she has no idea what she's talking about.
What country did the Vietnam War happen in?
Canada.
Do you know what country the Great Wall of China is in?
Japanese.
Do you know what the capital of the USA is?
No.
Ladies, can you name 3
To be fair, I'm sure a lot of people that they were interviewing got that question right, and they just pulled out the ones that, didn't get it right. There's no way that's indicative of everybody.
countries besides the USA? Real quick, 3 countries.
Asia.
Bomba clock. Oh my God, bro.
This question. I didn't pay attention to this way. Anyway, next.
This is
I
geography.
mean, this isn't really surprising though. Like Fresh and Fit, they get the most 3 or 4 girls that you can find on there from Miami. So it's bro, this is not surprising that they're not going to know these kind of things. I mean,
Africa?
That's not.
Okay. Then what's the say, ladies?
Oh wait, is that Asia?
Himalayas.
Okay. All right. Okay. One more.
Antarctica.
Many of those women don't even see the value of education anyway. They're just using it to argue. They traded in that college degree for an OnlyFans account a long time ago. They also say that the only reason she would date you is to get a US citizenship. This is complete nonsense. I don't know if you've been under a rock for the last 10 years, but have you noticed how much of a dumpster fire that the US has become? In the 90s and early 2000s, the US was the most sought after place to live in the world. The land of opportunity. Now, it's a woke fever dream where nobody knows what a woman is and every house costs more than you could afford in 100 years. People from other countries can't stop.
I mean, that is true. Just growing up, just the changes that I've seen since, I'm in my 20s. So just growing up, I noticed the differences. But at the same time, the more I travel globally, you have to at least appreciate the fact of the safety and democracy that you have here in the United States. I mean, people always shit on it, especially these days. But the reality, bro, is when you go to these other countries, in Thailand, for example, if you are screwing up and you're slandering people, the king and all those things, you can end up in jail. If you do the wrong thing, you can end up in jail pretty easily and you're trapped there. So, we have a lot of freedom in this country, and I think that's the problem is there's a lot of spoiled people who really haven't had to go through hardship and they're taking this shit for granted. But this is a great country. But yeah, it has a lot of its problems, everything. But I don't want to completely just throw everything out the window. You know what I mean? There's a lot of problems here, and you might find that you operate better in another country. But I like a lot of things about the United States, but obviously we have a lot of issues, especially when it comes to the culture these days.
Stop watching the US political shit show because it's funnier and more creative.
I'll just say there's a reason that, millions of people want to immigrate here every single year, and there's a reason why most of our ancestors immigrated here.
Than reality TV. You can't make this stuff up. Now the tables have turned and people aren't flying to the US. They're trying to escape it. And the passport bro thing.
Well, I would say if you look at the statistics, it's more indicative of native-born people in the United States are trying to get out because they don't want to deal with the bullshit anymore. But there's still tons of people coming in from other countries every single year.
9 times out of 10, you are not getting these men in their prime. And the reason why this garbage started in the first place is because these passport bros went around and said, oh, look at this other group of women. They're so much better than you. And that will naturally put anyone on the defense.
That about these forms.
I mean, yeah, obviously they're gonna get defensive over that, but I think it's just hilarious because it's like it was such a small minority of people like who were going over there and like posting videos and shit, and then like all of a sudden all of them get so enraged. It's like, dude, oh my god.
Women talking about, I got your man. Girl, those girls, as soon as they get that visa, they're gonna be gone in 24 weeks, if not 3 months, because guess what? They're gonna realize that those guys were discarded and unwanted for a reason.
Bro, what kind of generalization is that? Like, that's the most broad statement you could possibly make. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I mean, I do agree that I have seen a lot of videos where guys will go to another country, foreign country, bring a wife back, and then it goes south, right? Because obviously your environment dictates everything. So when she gets back here, the culture starts to shift everything, and then it kind of turns into a disaster. So probably best to go over there and stay over there and not be bringing them back here. But at the same time, I think that's a huge generalization to say like everyone that comes back here is just coming for a visa and that they're going to immediately leave you after they get your visa. Like, what the? Do you have statistics to back this up?
When you say that you're a passport bro, I'm just keeping it real. When you say that, you are publicly admitting that you don't have the personality, social skills, or the confidence to get a lady in your country.
Y'all will buy a plane
Bro, that is
ticket
the biggest
to go
cap.
to another.
That is the biggest cap. So, okay, so every guy who goes overseas and every guy who's a passport bro is a virgin and has never gotten with a woman. Where? Oh my God. Like, why do they even care so much? Like, first of all, it's not even a huge percentage of the population doing this. Why do they even care that much? Just let people do what they want to do. There's no reason to come out here and be trying to slander people about their life choices. Like,
Country to pay a woman or a femme presenting person to have adult relations with you. But tell me something, incel black men, you red pill popping, podcast watching, pathetic excuses.
immediately goes from the ad hominem attacks, hardcore ad hominem attacks. You know, if you actually had a real argument to present, you could do it with facts and statistics and actually try to win the debate. But as soon as it devolves into this, you know that it's a losing debate because they're just throwing out ad hominem attacks.
For men, tell me this. If y'all are so desirable, right? If y'all are what every woman wants, why y'all got to go so far and...
Who's making that claim? I've never heard any guy say that they're so desirable and what every woman wants. I never heard any guy say that. Most of us are not that delusional.
work so hard and spend so much money just to find a woman to lay down with you?
Why do you think so many men are traveling?
The other thing is, if you think about it, prostitution is the oldest, profession in the world. And so if we think about it from the perspective of, yeah, guys have always been going overseas and finding women and paying them for sex. That's like, that's something that's going on for millennia. This isn't anything new. It's just new because now, we've got the internet and people take videos and I guess point it out. It's like, this isn't anything new. I'm not sure why people are so surprised about this.
Overseas to find wives in other countries.
Men are traveling overseas to find wives. Why? I'm right here. I'm single.
That reaction tells you everything you need to know.
I feel like in other cultures, a lot of women are more submissive.
A lot of the men I know that go overseas to find wives are not great dudes.
It's a little bit more...
Okay, how many people do you think she really knows who travel overseas? And, they just all happen to be not really great dudes? Like, what? Dude, these statements.
Stricter on women, so, they can't really, do what they want to as far as going outside.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, they're pervy.
Men are traveling overseas to countries that have less money and less education. It's because they want a woman who is dependent on them.
You think those women are ignorant slaves or are they happy?
I think they're doing what they think they're supposed to.
Well, f you. Go away. Go find your women wherever you want. If you want a woman who barely even speaks English and just has to suck your dick.
Again, this whole thing of that women in other countries barely speak English is a complete cap. So many of the people I met there spoke, yeah, it wasn't perfect English or anything, but they spoke really good English to the point where we could understand each other. And it's really not that big of a deal to translate. So this whole thing of you're going over there and taking advantage of people because they can't speak your language is just bullshit.
Go for it. That's...
Well, I'm just asking on behalf of those
Bro, she gets so fired up about it.
emotional damage.
Go for it. That's...
Well, I'm just...
Why is she so mad, bro?
You'll hear on these videos them saying, only the dusties are leaving, which suggests that the only reason why a guy would go to Thailand for a wife is because he's broke. The few men that this will apply to will be...
There are some really weirdos that end up in Thailand, I'm not gonna lie. I saw some really weirdos when I was over there, but that's kind of everywhere, But it definitely attracts a kind of a weird crowd sometimes.
Horrified when they realize that to find a traditional woman, you need to be a traditional man. That means being able to provide for your women. But that's the minority of men. The truth is, the majority of passport bros are leaving because they're sick of being mistreated and disrespected by the woke matriarchy they're forced to live in. The men you...
I mean, yeah, but also people, like I said before, people are just traveling just to get out, just to see new cultures, right? Just to get out. And, if you're earning in US dollars and you go somewhere like Thailand, you go somewhere like, South America, you're literally... A huge part of this is economic, really, if you think about it, because you can go to Thailand, and get a great apartment there for 400, 500 bucks a month. And that's a really nice apartment in a great area in the middle of a city with nightlife and all this stuff going on right on the beach. You want to do that here, like in Florida or something on the East Coast? Because I'm on the East Coast. So you go down to Florida, you're at least $2K a month, at least $2K a month. If you want to be right on the beach, it's going to be more than that. So, a lot of people are going in and jumping over to these other countries and earning in US dollars to actually make it so they can enjoy their lives in terms of the day-to-day, in terms of what they can afford to buy. It's not all just about women.
You said you didn't want are leaving. The toxic, potential rapists who aren't needed are leaving. Why aren't women happy about it? Why is this such a problem? It's because deep down, they know they've been fed a lie. They know they need men, but they're becoming professional mental acrobats trying not to admit it.
The only reason I actually need you is because I want you. I don't actually need you. I need you to procreate. Yes, I agree.
Oh my God.
But the thing is, I don't need you in my day-to-day life. In my day-to-day life, I don't need a man to fix my car.
Dude, how I don't understand how people completely ignore the yin and yang, right? Like the feminine and masculine together create a whole. And yet everybody's going, oh, I don't need you, I'm independent. And it's like, what is going on here? Why is this even a thing? Why is this even a discussion? Like, yeah, okay, you don't physically need to rely on the same way that women used to because they have access to all the jobs. There's the internet, everything's being globalized, right? So in terms of like money and taking care of things physically, they don't technically need us. The ideal situation, though, if you look at a lot of these women who go down this career boss babe path, they don't end up being very sane at all. But yes, technically they don't need us for that. But even if you didn't need each other for material reasons, if we had all the money and stuff we need in the world, we still have different energies, right? It's feminine and masculine. So we kind of do need each other. I don't understand what this whole thing is. It's just sad, man. It's sad to see. Denial. It's straight up denial.
I'll just go to the mechanic.
They want a good man in their life to take care of them, but they've driven them all away, so now they're being in many ways.
Negativity from the media. Get your passports. No feminism. No negativity from the media. No male bashing. No gender war. No.
But yeah, look how beautiful it is there. And so when you're in these places, you can go to gorgeous places like this. And in the United States, if you went somewhere like this, maybe you'd be paying like, $1,000 a night or something crazy. But you go to these other places, you can get an apartment somewhere like this that looks similar to this in Thailand for $400. So it's like, yeah, if you're earning in USD, say you got your laptop or whatever, you're earning USD, you're down over here, bro. You can literally live for, a quarter of what you pay here for way better weather, way better conditions. Everything is fairly safe, so it's like, I understand why people are doing it. And a big part of it, like I said, is economics. It's not just women. But yeah, there's like this guy saying the benefits, no feminism, negativity from the media, it's not constantly like people actually appreciate each other. It's nothing weird. They're not turning their nose up at you. People aren't all like cold and shit. They're all welcoming. So
No stress. I wake up to this type of peace every morning. Since I've been overseas living my best life, I have absolutely no idea of what's been going on in the States because I'm too busy soaking up all the peace.
Dude, that is straight up facts, bro. That is straight up facts. Yo, when I was in Thailand, I completely lost track of what was going on in the States. I was only there for a few weeks and I completely stopped looking at the news, the media. I stopped looking at the gender wars, the politics going on, and everything completely was just like chill, bro. Everything was chill. It was weird. I was like, actually for the first time, I was actually like really like at peace, like not on edge, not looking at all the news and everything, the radio, not constantly being bombarded and brainwashed. It was crazy, man. It was really crazy. It was a crazy experience. And you really do. You get into this whole other flow of relaxation. It's insane. He's spot on.
My God, I love being a passport bro. I'll be back soon to bring you guys more heat, but until then.
A lot of people got something to say about the fact that I got 6 kids with 6 different men. So I'm just gonna tell y'all why it is better to do it this way. If I had 6 kids with all the same dude, I get 34% of his income, which is only $680 a month. If I got 6 kids with 6 different dudes, I get 17% from each one of them, which is $340 a month from each one. $340 a month times 6 baby daddies is $2,040. So why don't you?
Bro, the sad part is like that ain't shit. Like $2,040 a month. Like, yeah, I know that like the average income and everything, but if you think about it, the amount of stress and craziness that you have to deal with and chaos that you have to deal with just for $2,040 a month with 6 different partners, what? Not to mention how those kids are going to grow up, all the problems they're going to cause for you and society. Wow, bro, the fact that people are thinking this way is wild. So yeah, I think that if you really want to go overseas, try it out. It's an amazing experience. I really had a great time doing it. It opened my mind to so many different things and new possibilities. And just don't let what other people say stop you from, going over there. Labeling yourself as a passport bro is kind of weird. I don't really understand that, but don't let people stop you because they're like, oh, what are you, a passport bro or whatever. Just do your thing, bro. Just do your thing. Stop worrying about what other people think. That's basically going to be it, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.